Welcome to the Jovan Lachey Show. This is Jovan Lachey. As promised, I'm here to talk about R&B Divas LA Episode 4. Remember, you can follow me on Twitter, on YouTube, and also on Tumblr at Jovan Lachey, J-O-V as in Victor, O-N-L-A-C-H-E-Y. So R&B Divas LA. Last night was a really good episode. And I can say right now that we do have a reality show on our hand. Last night the drama kicked in, cattiness kicked in, and Twitter blew up last night. So we have a show on our hands, so good job TV1. Alright, so episode 4 kicks off with Shantae sitting down and she's talking with, I believe, Claudette. And she's revealing how she doesn't make friends that easily, so she's kind of shocked and she's pleased with herself being that she was able to gel with these 6 women on this cast of R&B Divas LA. Something that I am liking about Shantae starting on this particular episode here, episode 4, is that she is starting to exert her leadership abilities and she's starting to speak out a little more. The last 3 episodes we've seen Kelly be the center of not of attention, but the leader person on here, or the one in the leadership position, the one that all the other women seem to be flocking to for advice and guidance to some extent. But this episode, Shantae is starting to step up. So she's sitting there and she's talking about the monologues with the other ladies, and then it goes to her talking with her manager about the monologues. And Shantae has decided that she wants to bring in a director to help the ladies put their ideas for the monologues together. Now keep in mind that the monologues is Kelly Price's idea. This is what she's been talking about since the very inception of this R&B Divas LA. She's been talking about putting this monologues together. So now you have Shantae and she's talking about bringing in someone that she and the other ladies may feel comfortable with and help them put together the ideas for this monologues that was Kelly's idea. So her manager actually encourages her to bring in someone to help her with organizing the thing. So Claudette, Michelle, and Dawn, they're doing yoga at Claudette's place. Then the conversation is just still focused on the monologues and how Dawn isn't quite ready. She doesn't feel what she needs. She doesn't have an idea of what it is that she wants to do. So Claudette, she tells ladies that she plans on taking acting classes to kind of help her tap into the places that she no longer may, be, particularly with singing some of the songs. She said those emotions are different now, which is true for any type of artist. I mean, those things do change and performances can vary depending on the emotional state of that person at the time of that performance. So she's saying she may not be there anymore, so she's going to need somebody to help her bring all of that out. So I believe it was Dawn that tells her to hold out, wait, and do it with Shantae, because Shantae knows some acting coaches in the Los Angeles area. So it seems like Kelly, that her schedule is going to be booked for 4 weeks. We find this out when we're talking with her husband. So the scene is her and her husband, and he's going over her schedule for the upcoming 4 weeks, and he's saying that she's booked, that she's going to be out on a flight every Friday. She has all these different commitments that she must attend to, so this is not going to make time for the monologue. So Kelly's kind of putting this off on the back and saying that she'll get this done when she gets back from her prior commitments. And she's saying that the ladies are just too concerned about her schedule, because that has become a concern going back to last week when she wasn't at the Broadway in the Hood event when they did Dreamgirls. So she's saying the ladies are just too concerned about her schedule and that everything will work out. They don't need to worry about that because she's going to make sure that everything is taken care of. So then Kelly and Shantae, they meet, and Shantae tells her at this point that she's going to bring in a director to meet with her and with some of the other ladies and get some guidance on these monologues. And Kelly, she was upfront right there. She said, well, I'm not too happy about, bringing in somebody that I don't know to work on the monologues. But she says, just go ahead, do what you feel like you need to do at this time. So then it goes to Kelly's little one-on-one, and she said that she hopes Shantae isn't wasting her time, because this is not the person that she had an idea to actually work with. So we're going to find a little bit more about that later on in the episode there. So then Shantae and Claudette, they actually go on to this acting class, And Claudette is saying in this whole scene that she's really going to give this entertainment industry a second chance, and that she's really going to go hard or she's going to go home. So I really think that Claudette is really going to put all her energy into actually lighting a fire under her career and doing something different, doing something bigger, doing something better. Wouldn't be shocked if she and Little Mo are the two who actually get a career bump off of R&B Divas LA. So again, now Shantae and Little Mo, they're going to check out this producer that Shantae had in mind. His name is Fred Thomas Jr. He happens to be from Philly. So Little Mo, she really loved that. She liked the fact that he was from Philly because Philly people, keep it real. But she is nervous about the fact that he doesn't have any musical experience. Now, he has been nominated for several NAACP Image Awards, so he is a professional in that capacity. So we'll see how that works out this episode and starting next episode to see how Fred works out with the ladies. He told them he wants them to start writing their stories, their individual stories down on paper, getting their thoughts down on paper. Then they can come back, they can meet, and they can start, kind of plotting out an outline for how the show could possibly go. So Little Mo, she's a little concerned. She says 6 coochies, that's a lot of coochies to deal with on one show. She's used to working by herself and being able to pull everything together herself, but she's a little concerned that with these 6 women that it could possibly run into some hiccups there. So Dawn, she is really, really having a hard time with putting her ideas down on paper and actually conceiving what it is that she actually wants to do. So she goes and she meets with Kelly one-on-one at Kelly's house, again seeking the advice and the guidance of Kelly Price. And Kelly just came up with an idea for her and said she envisions her coming out on the stage, and when she comes out, Hold On is playing, Hold On by En Vogue. And then before the actual verse kicks in, that Dawn would stop and say, hold on, hold on, hold on, hold on. This is my story. This is what I have to say. Hold on, hold on. No, this happened to me, so forth and so on. And I actually really like that idea of incorporating the music that we already know into a format that allows them to express themselves and get some of their deepest, darkest emotions out. So then Little Mo, she goes and she tries to convince her husband to move to LA. See, now I'm a little confused because I already thought that the whole family had moved to LA already. So I don't know if the editing is splicing it up for a better storyline, because a couple episodes ago, everybody was in LA, everybody was at their apartment, everybody was, doing good. They were having a good time. They had moved in. The mom was there, the other assistants and everything was there, and the kids and everything was there. So I'm a little concerned. So TV One, y'all may want to work on some continuity issues, because not only am I starting to notice some continuity issues, some people on Twitter are starting to notice a lot of the continuity issues, and you guys really need to work on that. That was one of the main problems, particularly with the reunion for R&B Divas Atlanta, that a lot of people had a problem with. So work on that, and if you have to go back 1, 2, 3 times, go and actually work on that and make the stories flow a little better, or have these people sitting in different places talking about different things that kind of keep the continuity of the episodes going on. But nonetheless, Little Mo, she's talking about in this scene that she's having a hard time with working out custody issues with her ex-husband back in Baltimore. She has her 2 older children. They're there in Baltimore, and they're not with him, but they're with her parents, with her mother and her father. And she wants to bring those kids out to Los Angeles to reunite with, her 2 children and a new husband there. But she has to work out some issues in regards to custody. She holds joint custody with her ex-husband over her 2 daughters, so she just doesn't want to uproot them and leave her ex-husband out in the cold, really without anything to say about it. Now her current husband, Phil, they're sitting there talking about the situation, and Phil is making a lot of sense. I mean, he's a very sensible person, and he seems like he thinks situations out. So he's giving her some real advice, telling her the steps that he feels like she should go, and she should go through the legal process with it, not just go and get the kids and leave and actually make everything right before they actually leave Baltimore on a full-time basis, that they don't want to leave, bad feelings and everything back there in Baltimore, and that those 2 older children, and he's still the 2 girls' father, and that he definitely does need some type of say and where the children live. So shouts out to Little Mo's husband Phil on that. I tweeted her and said, you got to keep her there. She really does. I mean, not many people think clearly like that when it comes to, blended family situations, because everyone has to be taken into consideration, and good for him for actually taking Little Mo's ex-husband into consideration. So Little Mo, she actually goes to see a lawyer to find out what she can do there in the state of California in order to get her children there with her. So the lawyer, he tells her that she needs to be in California for 6 months. So she's going to establish residency there, and then at that point she will be able to bring the children there. So they discuss possibly terminating the father's paternal rights and things of that nature. But the lawyer goes on to tell her to keep in mind that even though parental rights are terminated at the age that her daughters are, they still know who their father is, and that he still may want to play a part in their life. So we're going to see how this is going to play out over the next couple episodes. I believe we'll see a few different things, and this will be a continuing storyline for Little Mo, and probably something really good to talk about on the reunion show that they're going to be taping in about 5 more weeks. So now we're still on Little Mo, and she feels that Kelly's schedule is too busy to actually take full ownership over the Monologues project. But she said for the sake of the group that she's going to fall in line with whoever the actual leader of the thing is. So if that happens to be Kelly, or if it happens to be Shantae, she's going to fall in line with what they have going on there. So Kelly tells them that she needs to meet this guy, Fred, but her schedule is busy, but she needs to actually find a time to meet with him. And Kelly seems like she's serious about this. She's like, look, I need to meet him before I make some decisions about how this thing is going to go. I don't know him. I don't feel comfortable with sharing some of my deepest, darkest emotional issues with him because I don't know him. And I have to say, I kind of agree with Kelly on the fact that she wanted to check Fred out before, she committed herself to working with him. Because again, we have to keep in mind that this Monologues was Kelly's idea. And last night, oh my gosh, Twitter blew up on Kelly. I'll talk a little bit about that. So they finally get to meet the lady. This is not the lady, but they finally get to meet Fred from Philly. And then they start talking about some of their experiences. So Claudette, she reveals that she was raped. So this is about the 3rd rape that's been revealed on the season so far. Fred, he is really good because he's giving them a good idea on the outline of the play. Homeboy pulled out his chart and, listened to what their ideas are. He said, okay, so we can do this here. Y'all can come in on a song together. You can talk about this here, talk about it there. Then somebody come out and do their monologue. Then we fade back. He had everything down in order. So Fred is a professional. He came in, he knew exactly what he was talking about, and he just jumped in and got the ball rolling. So now Dawn and Kelly, they actually come in. So this is Kelly finally getting the opportunity to meet Fred. And when she comes in, she's like, okay, what is going on here? She came in with an attitude from the jump because, again, this was her idea, her play here. So she's like, okay, what is going on here? Who is this? Who's running my rehearsal? So she's like, I didn't even know we were having rehearsal here. So she kind of gets a little combative with Fred. So Fred, he excuses himself from the room. So this is when Kelly just lays it out to everyone that this is her idea and that she's not feeling Fred right now. So apparently next episode is when it's all going to go down, and there's going to be some confrontation between the ladies. There was a little confrontation last night because Shantae, she just stepped up and said, look, your schedule is too busy. We're going to just go ahead and we're going to move forward, and you can come in when you can come in. So that's when the drama happened, and she's sitting there looking like, I'm not having not one piece of this here. So next week, that's when everything's going to happen. But back to Twitter last night. Twitter was going in on Kelly Price last night. You found a small percentage of people who were actually pro-Kelly, the fact that she wasn't feeling Fred and him directed her play. Then you found a lot more people, I believe, online who said that Kelly's attitude was stank, that it was too big, that she done been painted in a different light, that they didn't expect that from her, that she's acting like a real big diva, like she's bigger than everyone else, keeps telling everybody that her schedule is too busy, and like she got all of these dates and things of that nature. But again, I'm going to go against what everybody else is saying online because I actually think that they could have come to Kelly better than they did with bringing Fred, and they could have kind of made it more official, more professional, and talking about, okay, we do need to explore the options of seeing somebody else come in to help us out with that. Because again, this was Kelly's idea, it was her vision, and you just can't take somebody's vision like that and run with it, especially when you signed on to help this person out. And I do see where the other ladies are coming from. They're trying to keep themselves busy, and they actually want to go forward with the monologues idea because it is a good idea. But we shall see what's going to happen on there. Like I said, we have a reality show now. We have some drama going on. A lot of people saying, oh, I'm a little disappointed because now the foolishness and everything starts. But come on, what reality show have you watched that did not have some type of drama in it? If it doesn't have some type of drama in it, then people are like, oh, it's corny, I don't want to see it. Case in point, y'all remember when Monica had her reality show, when she made her big comeback back like in 2009, 2010, that Still Standing reality show on BET. Like, everybody loves Monica, they love that she can sing, they love that she's a real girl, they like all of that about her. But the one thing that people kept saying, oh, it was just too boring, like she wasn't giving us anything, it was no drama, it wasn't anything happening. They was talking about, oh, but Keisha Cole show, this stuff happens. But Monica wasn't having any of that type of drama on her show, and so that's one of the reasons why I think it didn't have a second season to come back on, because there was no drama. Any of these successful reality shows, particularly with the female-centered cast, you are going to have some drama on it. It makes for good television, it makes for ratings, it makes you want to actually turn in and see what's going to happen. Now, everybody was going ham on Kelly on Twitter, but I'm quite sure everybody's going to turn in next week to see what has happened and what's going to happen for the next, I believe, three more after this episode. You're going to tune in to see what's going to happen. I'll be there, I'll be reviewing it and seeing what's going on, and I'll be right back here to review it and report it to you all. So this is your boy Jovan Lachey. Remember, you can follow me on Twitter at Jovan Lachey. That's JOVONLACHEY. Also right here on YouTube and also on Tumblr. Thank you, and I'll be back next week.